Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for such introduction for me. Uh, well, have, I should first of all say that the subject of ethics in medicine is such a vast subject that it is terribly difficult to encapsulate the whole thought into 20 minutes. But of course, I have taken few facets of this ethics in the modern medical practice, which I would like to highlight here to to stimulate your thoughts, to know more about it in future, and get into habit of doing the ethical practice, which we are lacking today. And when I finish my lecture, you will realize that yes, we are all lacking in ethical practice in today's world. Maybe it is not our own fault. Maybe that it is the fault of the society, fault of system, fault of regulations. But of course, we are the target of unethical practice. Well, the pioneers of, first of all, can I have this light off, please? This is irritating, number one, and I cannot see here anything. I'll have to look to that side. Thank you very much. Well, first of all, I pay my respect to the pioneers of science and art of medicine who laid down the foundation of ethics in medical practice. In last few decades, all the advances in medicine has made many impossibilities to definite possibilities and has made medicine glamorous and glittery. The public, which treated us as gods, is now treating us as another professional out to mint money. Look at that, what the doctor is telling the patient. I'm sorry, I did everything you could afford. Well, today, if you take medical practice, let's take two facets of medical practice. I'm not going towards the government job, but first facet is after you do your medicine, which takes quite some time, you first think, why not to start your own practice? And when you think of starting your own practice, getting into it is like getting into a maze. And how you are getting into a maze, the next slide explains. After your about 10 to 12 years of hard work to become a doctor, you want to start a small clinical establishment. And what happens? First of all, the public on humanitarian ground expects all the charities from you. And then you have all these yodhas sitting around you to see that you are not entering the maze. And I will take it one by one. Let's take the MCI Act and Regulations and Consumer Protection Act. I have put them both together. You know why? There is a dilemma today. We are always quoted as nobler than thee. By bringing us in the ambit of CPA, we are traders and patients are clients. Medical Council of India, which regulates the medical ethics in the country, has laid down certain criteria which do not allow us to be traders. The traders can advertise, solicit, can employ commission agents, put up large signboards and bargain the price for selling the goods. The Medical Council of India prohibits doctors from doing such an act. This is a dilemma. Well, there are government acts and regulations when you start a medical practice, and there are 17 major ones. How many minor ones are there? One does not know. And then there are local body regulations. You can see there are so many local body regulations coming on this nursing home. Then there are taxes and donations. And the fourth one, what you see, I have written, third and fourth, donation to political parties mostly due to fear. Donation for any public function in the locality, that is called Rangdari tax, that we have to pay. And high-handedness of the politicians, bureaucrats, police, and antisocial elements, that is called Gundaraj. Violence at workplace. Look at this slide, this one here, what the gentleman is telling the doctor, brings the patient to the casualty department and says, doctor, if anything happens to my patient, you are history. That is what is happening today. And then at the top of that, there are these ambulance chasing litigants. That is the, this is a American word for the advocates who are after you. For anything you do, if the prescriptions is not as, in the format as prescribed by MCI and or told by Dr. Daga earlier, you are in trouble. This you are doing, you are in trouble. That you are, I'm just told that a physician treated heart attack and he has been taken, and the court has decided that he has done the wrong thing. So all these things. Then at the top of everything is this press and media, which is watching us like a hawk. And look what is saying here, this patient. The same day the patient is going to be operated, and there is a news in the newspaper, the kidney theft on rise. The patient is telling the doctor, doctor, I prefer to be operated without an anesthetic, because he is afraid that they will take his kidney out. These are the things which are surrounding us, and then you decide, I'm qualified, I have everything. Why to get into this maze? I know I will not be able to enter it. If I enter it, I will not be able to get out. Then there is another possibility one thinks, why not to go to the corporates? Because here there is possibility of either becoming corrupt or bankrupt. So you decide that I am going to the corporate hospital. And then what happens there? You land further into deeper trouble. Because there, the managers are in the key role looking for the profit, and doctors take the back seat. Insignificant role in hospital management. What is the corporate hospital doing? They are looking for return on the investment, and they invest on whatever I have written here, and the return they want is shares in a stock market. Just see. Forefathers what they had dreamed, and today what is happening? If a hospital is putting itself into share market, you know what is the motive? Motive is not treating the patient. And then patients turnover, high-tech surgical procedures, investigations, all these together. And those who work in corporate, they know very well how they are tortured by the management to do more investigation, more surgery, more patient turnover and all that. The result is high cost of treatment, which becomes out of reach of general population, which is aware of advancement in medical science through access to information technology. In corporate healthcare, what happens? There is horse trading for the doctors. Like IPL match, what is happening today happens in the corporate hospitals. There is audit of turnover in different sectors. That is patients, operation, investigation of the hospital. I need not explain, all of you know. Looking for patients to use the machine rather than using the machine on the patients. Do you understand what I mean? There is export of medical expertise through medical tourism. It is just like you don't have any, grain, wheat to feed your own people, but you are boasting to export wheat to other countries. This is what is happening today by the corporate hospital. Well, you may think that you are ethical. You may think these corporate hospitals are doing this, but working there still I am ethical. But you become the part of an unethical system. And now I am going to tell you, again, I cannot tell you the whole gambit of, this ethical thing. And there is Medical Council of India regulation on ethics and etiquette, which is there. That book is there. And now I am telling you that you should, after this lecture, you should find time in next 1 week to visit the website of Medical Council of India and go through the regulation very fast. I am not going to take you through the whole regulation, but some parts I will take you through. Code of Medical Ethics, the duties and responsibility of the physician in general, character, what should be the character of this physician, that need not to be explained. But one thing I tell you, a doctor is a scientist, an artist, a technologist, and a social worker, and above all a humanist, all rolled into one to tend his fellow beings to overcome adversaries of all kinds, physical, mental, and social, to keep them healthy. Let us put our hands on heart, do we do that? Now I come straight to chapter 6 of the Ethics Etiquette Act, that is, what is unethical act? Number 1 is advertising. 6.11 says soliciting of patients directly or indirectly by a physician, by a group of physicians or institutions or organization is unethical. Then there is this big thing which I am not going to read because of the paucity of time, but the one which I have written at the bottom. Nor shall he boast of cases, operations, cures or remedies, or permit the publication or report thereof through any mode. Do we really do that? Every day we are advertising ourselves or differently. We are coming on television. Sometimes one is removing, I am a urologist, somebody takes out 3 kilo kidney and shows on the television, shows in the newspaper, 3 kilo kidney I have removed. And tomorrow xanthogranulomatous kidney if he has to remove. And he's sweating and he has all sorts of problems. The press comes and asks, Doctor Sahab, last time you removed that kidney, what is your problem? You could not remove this shrunken small kidney. So that on one side the press is there, other side it is unethical for you to do that. If somebody complains, you are in trouble. Printing of self-photograph, which is rampant these days, or any such material or publicity in the letterhead, or on signboard of the consulting room, or any such clinical establishment shall be regarded as act of self-advertisement and unethical conduct on the part of a physician. Rebates and commissions. A physician shall not give, solicit or receive, nor shall he offer to give, solicit or receive any gift, gratuity, commission or bonus in consideration of or return for the referring, recommending or procuring of patient for medical, surgical or other treatment. Less said the better. Chapter 7 is very important, adultery. And that is, you see in newspaper every day, abuse of professional position by committing adultery or improper conduct with a patient or by maintaining an improper association with a patient will render a physician liable for disciplinary action as provided under the Indian Medical Council Act 1956 or the concerned state Medical Council Act. Physicians should not contribute to the lay press. I have told you before, you read this one. But for the public interest, you can write different articles and all so that it, without advertising yourself, you can write in the lay press. It is improper for a physician to use an unusually large signboard and write on it anything other than his name, qualification, obtained from the university or a statutory body, titles and names of his specialty, registration number, including a name of the state medical council, under which registered, the same should be the contents of his prescription paper. A physician shall not use touts or agents for procuring patient. Again, you look here. This chap is St. Mary Hospital. This fellow has come for treatment. He said, Arey Sahab, why are you wasting time here? You see over there, that fellow, there is a better treatment there. And this fellow is shouting, come one and all, one minor operation and a health tonic, absolutely free on 2 major operations. Well, these cartoons have been made by the daughter of a doctor friend of mine, whom I had just given the ideas, and she had made the cartoons. So you can understand what was going on in her mind when she made this. And there has been all hue and cry about this new chapter added to the regulation of Medical Council of India Ethics Etiquette Regulation. That is this is 6.8. This is the 6.7. It was added in 2010. We passed it in 2009 and 2010. It came and there was all hue and cry in dealing with pharmaceutical and allied health sector industry. A medical practitioner shall follow and adhere to the following. I need not again explain. There has been so much talk about gifts, travel facilities, hospitality, cash and monetary grants. Again, I am not going to talk about it because the medical profession, I remember when this act had come, I was in the medical council, my friend, a very senior gastroenterologist came to me and said, "Kya boss, jaan maar dena chahte ka? Do you want to kill us?" I said, "What happened?" सारा दवाई कंपनी वाला नहीं ले जाएगा, वो नहीं ले जाएगा, ये करेगा, क्या करेंगे? As if his son had died. She was so much agitated. I had to leave the party in which we were there. So much he was agitated. As if the drug company does not give him all the things, he will not be able to do anything, which he is doing today. That was the situation. I told him, my dear friend, last 25 years, that time 25 years, I have been practicing in India. I have never taken even a cup of tea from the drug company, and still I travel in whatever I like. If you are in a position to oblige the drug company, only then they oblige you in the same way, they reciprocate. Sometimes you do pay your own money and travel and go to or let the conference sort of give you all the facilities and see how satisfied you are. On this topic, I will not talk much because there has been a lot of, there is a lot of time which is here. Now, next is cash and monetary grant. Again, I am not going to talk about medical research. These the drug company will come, give you, sir, ये 5 तो फार्म भर दीजिए मरीज का, 5 फार्म आप, ultimately 500 forms have been filled up and they come out with a publication. This drug was used by such eminent people and he does good thing and all that. My God, this is not on. If you are caught, you are in trouble. There is hardly any time now, otherwise I would have explained how the professors of 6 medical prime institutions of the country are on the, facing the trial in the Medical Council of India because of this. They have just written about some drug. I will not explain about it. Please make sure that you are not, because you are playing in the hands of the sponsorer. There are, I have shown you this triangle. Because shortage of time, I cannot explain. But please go through the regulation of Medical Council of India before you enter into any research, agreement with the sponsors of such research. Ensure that source of an amount of funding is publicly disclosed at the beginning itself. Ensure that while accepting such an assignment, a medical practitioner shall have the freedom to publish the results of the research in the greater interest of the society by inserting such a clause in the MOU or any other document or agreement for any such assignment. This is one which is very, very important. They take you for a ride. You cannot publish if there are negative results. Only positive results they publish. If you want to publish the negative result, they will show you the MOU that no, you are not allowed to do that. Please, when you take up the issue, you make sure that you say that if there is a negative also, I will publish the results. Maintaining professional autonomy. In dealing with pharmaceutical and allied healthcare industry, a medical practitioner shall always ensure that there shall never be any compromise either with his or her own professional autonomy and or with the autonomy and freedom of the medical institution. Mind you, the pharmaceutical and allied healthcare industry is all out to procure business by hook or by crook. If they cannot convince you, they will try to confuse you. And still, if they are not successful, then the last shot is fired, that is corrupt you. Friends, affiliation. Read again this one carefully in the regulation. This is allowed. You can be in the advisory role, consultancy role of any drug company. You can do that. I am again not able to explain the whole thing, but you read this chapter and you will find that there are certain things which you can do with a proper documentation and all. Endorsement is, of course, not allowed, we all know. Before I end, because the time is very short, I'll give you one BMJ article of 2014 by David Berger, and there is a quote. There is widespread corruption in the pharmaceutical industry with doctors bribed to prescribe the drug, unquote. Then again, quote, a doctor demanded that the company fly him to Thailand and provide prostitutes. This is where we have got into. Well, before I conclude my speech, I would like to just say, please do certain introspections. We cannot afford to keep on seeing our own reflection and ignore the vast sea of deprived humanity who deserve a dignified life and a good health. We are doctors and not traders. Service to humanity is our first priority. A smile on the face of our patients is worth millions of rupees. While enjoying the fruits of our labor, we should not forget our commitment to society, which has given us so much to be proud of. Keeping others' needs before our own is shortest and surest road to happiness. Friends, the rich move in cars, the poor move in cars, and we, the doctors, move in people's hearts. We remember always.